Okay. Next mission. What do we got?
As far as the chaos,
My God, it's full of stars.
Days, it's difficult to say which side pulled the trigger first. Arusia deployed an automatic intercept system with drones.
Well, welcome back to the
Osea
digital
implemented
world,
long-range
Infamous.
attacks to bypass them. So Arusia decided to sabotage Osea's communications and navigation technology. Arusia couldn't launch a satellite themselves, but they were still able to hack the software of the Osean transmission and navigation systems. Before Osea even noticed, half of their satellites were hijacked. That's when things got ugly. In an attempt to knock out each other's capabilities, both forces launched fighters loaded with anti-satellite missiles at the same time. Only military satellites were targeted. However, their destruction created a debris field in orbit, which wiped out scores of other satellites, both private and government-owned.
Okay, the world of Strange Reel doesn't really think ahead very much, do they?
Had been free-flowing data and information, but now those were gone. All that remained was chaos and confusion. Government and civilian broadcasts and transmissions were cut off. The flow of information had ceased. Forces on both sides of the conflict now found themselves unable to communicate with their superiors. Many of the smaller countries annexed by Arusia and yearning for their independence seized the opportunity and started their own uprisings. As for why some of Osea's military decided to break off from the main force and continue on their own, I have no idea. Perhaps there was some sort of dispute over the chain of command. The continent that had once seen wars that were only fought between Osea and Arusia was now full of numerous conflicts between rival leaders vying for power. Insurgencies were everywhere. I even heard a rumor that a group of Osean convicts had rebelled.
Not really rebelled.
It never ceased to amaze me.
Yeah, that phone's got to be
But
pretty
even
useless
at a crazy
right now.
time like this, something as trivial as a rumor could find its way here. Communications from corporate were cut off. Apparently, the entire computer network was down. It was a wise decision to make our drones autonomous with AI instead of being radio-controlled. Wise and forward-thinking. Even with their GPS offline,
Oh,
they
goody.
can still use their sensors to navigate as long as they're working properly. I'm sure the drones are still working perfectly, following their mission orders to the letter. I wish I could upload Mihai's new data to them, but without a connection, I can't upload the software to the active drones. The new ones we're making, though, there should still be enough time to upgrade those before they're activated. I'll be taking the data I've acquired away from the front lines now. Oh, and I'll be taking the girls too. I told my assistant Masa it was time to get Mihai's granddaughters ready to leave here. She's not much older than the girls, but she has a way about her, and I'm sure she won't have any trouble with them. I saw a plane flying off in the distance. I imagine it was looking for a safer place. The plane had a rose emblem on it.
See ya, princess.
Arusia's communication networks have been down since their satellites were destroyed. Unfortunately, we are experiencing trouble too. All of Usia has been affected, and we don't know when things will be back up and
That
running.
name sounds vaguely
We're not
familiar.
even sure if this is Arusia's doing. Still, we will follow the strategy that was originally planned and move on to the next operation after liberating Farbanti. Let's get to it. Since the war began, we've been receiving communications in secret from an officer in the Arusian army. With the capital under our control, Arusia's radical element is losing support quickly, affecting the balance of power. HQ is thinking of using the military officer as a way to gain leverage to settle peace negotiations. The officer is currently hiding
like
in the
the
outskirts
satellite
of Anchorhead
data
Bay,
link connection
having joined
error
up
in the
with
corner
support
there.
dispatch from the Osean army. The plan is that they'll take a standard vehicle to a rendezvous point at a harbor in the east part of the city, where a helicopter will be waiting. I would like the new Strider Squadron to provide escort for the officer. Cyclops will remain at the base on standby to serve as defense. With the communication network,
you have to remember, I played the American
the
version, so the storyline wasn't as compelling as that.
Forces who are aware of the officer's movements will interfere. Keep a close eye on the officer and make sure he stays safe. Our victory in Farbanti has given us a golden opportunity to finally end this war.
I thought the victory in Farbanti was supposed to end the war.
Take note that our satellite-based IFF has become unreliable following the recent communications failure. As such, target ID will be done by processing the images from the infrared cameras on your aircraft.
Oh, dear Lord.
Objects will initially appear as unknown on your HUDs, but will be ID'd once you close in on them for a set period of time.
That sounds awful. Okay. Start mission. F-35. We're gonna go with anti-air missiles.
Strider Squadron, you're cleared to taxi.
Fair enough. Operation Gorgon. $20.59 on October 1st. Yep, night mission.
This is Captain Carl of the Ocean Army. Are you here for the escort? You're not the squadron I was expecting. Are you really friendlies? Over.
This is Longcaster.
Of course.
Airborne warning and control system for the Ocean Long Range Strategic Strike Group. Captain Carl, they're on our side.
Do you have anything to eat, Captain Carl?
Okay, I hope you're right. Longcaster, are all of these really unknowns?
It's a state of civil war. The Erusian army is fighting itself. There's no guarantee the Oceans won't shoot us in this confusion.
We'll image process the unknowns caught in your cams to identify friend or foe. The process will be faster if you get a close-up, well-centered image. Meanwhile, we just run if they shoot us, right? Affirmative. Always identify your target before you fire.
War is something I'll never get used to, but tonight has been a total shock.
Oops.
The city under martial law. Gunfire and the roar of jets echoing through the streets.
Give me Strider Squadron's IDs. Oh, and hand me that sandwich.
There we go.
Strider 1, missile launched. Target destroyed. Entering the Anchorhead Bay area. Buildings will block your line of sight. Make sure to keep track of your objective.
How this war ends depends on this mission. I'm counting on it.
Understood. Strider Squadron, identify the unknowns along the route. It's Erusian.
They aren't responding aggressively.
Oops.
If they're conservatives, they'll listen to us. The negotiations were a success, Longcaster. They've opened up a path for us. The more the merrier. We can't see the tops of the roofs from down here. Be on the lookout for enemy ambushes.
Oh, hi.
Check your TAC terminal.
We made it through the Anchorhead Bay area. We're heading along Highway 208 under the bridge. We're taking the coastal highway at the next ramp.
All right.
sec.
Attention, Ocean forces. Your target is carrying a peace envoy.
Hold your fire! I repeat, hold your fire!
Okay, well, again, thank goodness for bouncy planes.
Want us to wait and see if they're friendly? There's an unknown on our route. We can't proceed.
Strider 1, warship sunk.
Wait. General managed to convince them. Listen, those that protect General Abad are the real patriots.
Okay, this is kind of interesting how, like, I don't need to take all of these out. I just have to identify them, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh crap, we've been firing on the wrong people," and stop. That's really unique.
We'll go. Let's go. We archive all the footage that we've shot when the communication networks come back online.
We need to remind everyone that there's no such thing as a clean war.
Missile. Missile. Caution. Missile.
Signs of the clean warfare at the beginning of this war are now gone.
Missile. Missile.
Strider 1, Fox 3.
Missile. Missile.
Push it! Missile inbound! No good. There's still a car on the road. Just to be safe, we better avoid the highway and head for the warehouse district. Lancaster, we're taking a detour. Don't lose us.
Strider 1, the general's route has changed. Keep your eyes on his vehicle. Don't let him out of your sight.
There's a vehicle blocking the road. No response to hails. Radicals. Here comes a traitor, Lafarge.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting that.
This is a wide net they've cast. They really don't want the war to end, do they? Lafarge, send that vehicle!
They've been set up in all the right places.
Dang it.
We have some enemies coming up behind us. They're gaining on us. We changed our route, but the enemy's still on us.
Target destroyed. Vehicle eliminated.
Shoot down any aircraft that approach us. What are you thinking? Push it! Missile inbound!
Sup.
Strider 1, Fox 2. Target acquired.
I'm gonna open this guy up.
Try your smokes. 3 strikes will find you. Turn right. No, wait. That goes into the ocean. I can't shake the enemies on my tail.
Pull up.
What
Vehicle
enemies on
eliminated.
your tail? Nice. So that's what radar enforced means on speed limit signs.
Maintain speed. We'll be able to break through that shutter. General, do you mind keeping it down for a minute? You'll bite your tongue. We're almost at landfill number 7. If we can make it through, we'll be in arm's reach of the rendezvous at Kruger Park.
Going 65 miles an hour in a 55. Caution, you're being spiked by radar.
I'm sure the boys listening upstairs will record it. The open declaration of war, expanding the front lines, was all the work of some young Erusian officers. They were referred to as the radicals, but there was an unseen force guiding them. It was technology they borrowed from the Belgians.
Oh, those wily
Went to war.
Belgians.
The performance of the attack drones exceeded wildest dreams. And they were incredibly clean, which got public opinion and the opportunists within the military on their side. They even manipulated the princess. The Belkin technology advanced UAV research within the Erosion Flight Test Center by at least 10 years. They used the flight data from a former...
Shut up and let me shoot stuff, or I'll keep flying in between, like, levels of freeways.
Airplanes are meant to be flown by human beings. Those of you listening in, am I wrong? We're heading towards Grunder Park. Rendezvous point is the
Yay,
helipad on
Grunder
this man-made
Park.
island. We'll ditch the car and take the helicopter from there. You're just too stubborn to change with the times.
Okay, there we go. Now we got something to look at. Okay.
An unknown is blocking our scheduled route.
No response. Got a bad feeling.
Missile. Missile.
Target acquired.
Pull up.
Thanks. We would have been toast.
Captain Carl, we have a new rendezvous point. New coordinates are as follows: 263 Tango 4, 1999 Delta Lima. Rescue team says hostiles are making the area too dangerous.
Well, yeah. Don't they know nowhere is safe?
Hey, Azari. How's it going? Oh, I'm upside down. That's the problem. Okay, I was like, why is it pulling me upward?
You have one in your cockpit? Yeah, ever since my previous squadron. I've got it taped in, nice and secure. We're about to cross Anchor Bridge. There'll be nowhere to hide.
That was something.
The bridge is being blocked off by a tank. This is good.
Ocean forces at landfill number 7. This is AWACS Longcaster.
That vehicle is one of ours! Fire! The infiltrators came through! An armored vehicle's behind us. It's a vehicle used by the Erosion forces. Take it out!
Missile.
Trigger, our VIP is in trouble. Clear the way for him. The General is speaking with the commander. Cease fire with the Ocean aircraft. General's orders. We're the only ones here on our side. The drones aren't receiving my orders. Can we switch the UAV to slave master? We've almost reached the container area. Watch out for enemy ambushes. Understood.
Hostile tanks are keeping the armored formation at Anchor Bay from protecting the VIP. Can you clear them out for us?
No problem.
Target eliminated.
There we go.
The General's vehicle is
All
under
right.
attack.
Make yourself a sandwich.
He is taking fire.
I'm hit. Get this guy off my back.
Missile. 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 Stall warning. Stall warning. Pull up. Caution. Pull up.
We're taking fire. We can't hold off.
Target acquired.
So, we made it somehow. Try to get off your ass a little faster next time. We're coming up on a tunnel. We'll need to split up until we reach the exit.
Missile. Missile.
There's more to Belkin technology than just UAVs. assassinations for one was an astonishing feat. They used it to make drones that resembled Osean fighters, and then to assassinate hardly before they were slain by enemy fighters. But in the end, Belgian technology only brought chaos to the world.
I can't believe Stussy is responsible for Harlan's assassination.
Vehicle eliminated.
You talking politics? That's new.
Yeah, well...
Story like that, right, Trigger?
You're right. It is a little relevant to my interests.
Target locked. You dodged it. Wonderful, so be it.
Bad news. Hostile armored forces outside of the tunnel. I'm thinking that we should go say hi when they ruin the general's day.
I've got him in my crosshairs.
You radicals were so busy developing UAVs that you forgot to develop real pilots. You are a disgrace.
The general's a real celebrity. Seems everyone wants to meet him.
Missile.
Its ID is erosion.
Fire for the next half hour. And we'll take back the city from the scoundrels who call us rebels. We're taking heavy fire. Concentrate your fire on the combat vehicle. We were nearly done for. I couldn't have asked for a better time.
I'm doing pretty good, Azari.
Glad to see the Oseans attacking the radicals.
How are you enjoying Resident Evil 2 so far?
Getting rid of those assholes fast.
Not my cup of tea, but from what I've heard, everybody who's fans of the series have really been digging it.
How's your last Longcaster? You've been briefed and we're here to help. We've reached the industrial zone. This should be the new rendezvous point. The coordinates are up ahead. Take out any enemies in the surrounding area. Glad we waited. Don't worry, we won't let anybody through after you.
Almost at the rendezvous. Leave the rear to the others. Understood.
The radicals truly believe boosting drone productions will make up for the losses. They should be taking responsibility for the capital's fall, but instead they're prolonging the war. That is why proper conservatives like myself are moving to regain control. All goes well, we should be able to sign a truce with Osea quickly. I've got him in my crosshairs. We've reached the rendezvous point.
Yeah, well, if I remember correctly, they used the Resident Evil 7 engine for the graphics, so the fact that it's buttery smooth and beautiful doesn't shock me at all.
This is the Erosion News Network.
Okay, let's go. We're getting out of here. I've had just about enough of this place. I'd like to offer my thanks to the LRSSG. This should finally bring about a true end to the war.
Understood. Good luck. Multiple unidentified aircraft approaching.
This plane is carrying civilians. We have escort fighters, but we do not intend to engage in combat.
I will not engage you in combat then. I'll take your word for it. Wait.
What's going on?
Try to get
Those
a little
lights by
closer.
the cockpit.
Weapon use is prohibited.
What's going on? Dr. Schroeder!
Whoa. There's a girl on board?
Oh!
He's not lying about carrying civilians.
No. Unless she's a soldier.
I know who this is. Oh, yeah. I've recently played through
Transport with escorts.
all of the Ace Combat games right from the beginning. And I've been slowly posting them on my YouTube channel.
Need to remind you, but do not attack the civilian liaison.
I've been a fan since the PS2 days. No, wait, no, PS1. That's right, Ace Combat 2 was one of the first PS1 games I played on a friend's PS1. Witchcraft. Whoa.
Unknown's attacking the girl's plane. Longcaster,
permission to engage. Negative. What?
What?
They could be Ocean fighters. ID them ASAP.
Shit. That's all we can do.
Missile.
Trying to ID them.
ID complete. There are Russian
Ooh,
fighters.
YF-23.
Stay sharp.
I want one.
I'm shooting them down. Any complaints?
Those things are cool.
Granted.
Wilco.
Wilco. Wilco.
Missile.
Yeah, good work. Try to run and kill the bandit.
Whoops.
I managed to catch a glimpse of the three.
Yes.
Eat carefully.
Mine.
Stall warning.
No good.
Stall warning.
Shit. Bandit destroyed. Well done.
They're in my way.
Nope. That would be a bad idea.
Strider 1. Missile launched.
Gotcha.
Nice kill.
Oh, don't be so pouty,
Hostile
Count.
aircraft eliminated. The liaison is safe.
Just because I'm so much better than you are.
The escort fighter is... drive. They're missing the drive.
What the hell? You gotta be kidding me. Liaison escort has a radar lock. They're targeting you guys.
What the hell? We were just helping them.
Erusian aircraft, this is AWACS Lancaster. Do not engage the liaison. Break off now.
Can you hear me on this channel, Ocean craft? Those escort aircraft are drones. They are currently being operated. They are not being controlled by anyone. They are flying on their own.
Oh, so we can shoot them down and not feel guilty about it?
In that case, we have no choice but to shoot the aircraft down.
Unfortunately, yes.
We did what we could. Weapons free. You are cleared to attack the escort.
Welcome. Understood.
Wilco.
We can abort the MC-99 launch. Our commands are overridden. We must be accessing it remotely. Which unit is behind this?
Hey, it's not our fault they won't listen to reason. Why build something like that? Whoever did is the king of all dumbasses. Additional hostiles inbound. Great timing.
Son of a bitch.
The escort must have used its remote activation rights to gain more allies.
Strider 2. Rush 2. Watch it. Enemy has a lock on you.
Hit on bandit confirmed.
Five bandits remaining. Target acquired.
Defeated. They'll from the drive they need.
Missile.
Missile evaded.
Missile.
4 bandits left.
Missile. Missile.
There has to be a time when it should not function. They have to obtain our day.
3 bandits to go.
Come on. There we go.
I'm on my target's tail.
Warning. Enemy has a beat on you.
Stall warning.
Your plane will ice up if you stay in there too long. 2 bandits left. Show them what you got.
Missile.
Well, I mean,
Missile.
Who am I going to impress by showing them what I got? They're drones. They're autonomous drones. They're not even being controlled by an operator who might go, huh, that was cool.
One bandit to go.
Strider 1, that's what I like to see. Another story to tell my boy.
Understood. All hostiles have been eliminated.
Hooray!
General's helicopters flying safely outside Anchorhead Bay. All aircraft, RTB, mission complete.
All hostiles, huh?
More like near Bonte.
The Ocean aircraft is here to pick us up. The approaching Ocean aircraft.
Ocean's army? Elaborate. They stole our sealed orders.
The VIP.
It should be a piece of cake.
Were you sent by the General Staff? No. We flipped it. Central. I can't.
What just happened?
There are 3 scratches.
What does that mean?
The tail of that plane.
Wait, was that our
Are all of these really unknowns?
asshole CO from the penal base?
There's no guarantee the Ocean.
What?
In order to respond to the attack on the base, Cyclops has scrambled after being on standby. We'll head up too, once our planes are ready. Oh, and Labarth is dead.
What did you say?
Apparently, he was shot down by another Ocean aircraft after he left the area of operations. I mean, I know it was chaos, but still. At any rate, the sealed order operation has come to a close. We have no idea about a plan for going forward.
All we can do for now is watch our own backs.
Well, yeah, but still.
He's staying in his room. He's still alive, since we can
Ooh, I love how the ribbons were, like, not immediately blue after I identify them. They stay yellow until the point where I identify them. That's a nice touch. I can afford the F-22. I'm gonna do that, but then I really need to get to bed because I have to wake up early for more training. This is the last day of training.
The island we went to was supposed
at work.
to have been secured by the ground forces.
They
hadn't gotten a handle on things.
I'll wake up 2 hours earlier than usual.
So now we were stuck in the middle of a half-assed campaign.
For stuff I'm probably not going to remember.
Get the planes ready for combat, making repairs and handing them over to our troop of cons. Thing is, the enemy still had the hangars. The comms were still down, so none of us knew what the hell was going on. The last transmission I heard before everything went to shit was that some prisoners from an Ocean military penal unit rioted and managed to escape. They stole some jets and now they were flying around.
There's the railgun launch thing.
I wonder if any units like ours were out here, creeping around. Hearing the Ocean jets firing at each other overhead chipped away at morale. Since the radio was out, it was quiet. I liked it better that way. All I heard was the gunfire. Here we were, walking around carrying rifles. We were pilots, damn it. Friendly fire will probably kill us. You know things are desperate.
Shuttle.
The guards that used to lock us into solitary are now telling us it's better we all stick together. I guess they think our odds of surviving this war are better that way. After walking for miles across the battlefield, we came across the wreckage of a plane.
Oh no.
Passenger, not military.
Not the princess.
I knew that rose. It was an Erusian liaison plane. The guard's dogs smelled something and took off. They led us to a cliff. And the bodies.
Today, I lost everything. When Osea attacked our capital, my father, a man who was never really suited to being the king, was killed. I was to be flown out of the war zone to safety, but the plane was shot down by rebels. The entire crew was killed in the crash. Soldiers appeared and one shot at me. My dog went after
fair
him.
enough.
I shot him to pieces. He was my best friend.
Oh, poor dog.
After all those speeches I
Poor,
gave
like,
about working
imaginary
together for
JPEG
peace,
dog that never actually moved.
I thought everyone felt the same as I did. I'm sure the soldier who shot at me knew I was the Princess of Erusia. He was Erusian too. More soldiers have come. Now, there is no one left to protect me. I am so numb, I cannot move. I watch as one of their dogs approaches. It sniffs mournfully at my dead friend. I wonder if it grieves for him as much as I do. I can barely think. I feel weaker by the minute. I don't know who these soldiers are with, but I managed to take a sip of the water they gave me.
How long have you been here?
Somehow, I muster the courage to answer the woman's question. I tell her I've been there 3 days. They gather around me with grim looks on their faces. What would they do if they knew I was the Erusian princess?
Probably still protect you?
After searching the cockpit of the plane, the woman who spoke to me before came back to me.
This is an air-to-ground tactical radio. It still works!
I noticed she walked with a limp. She knelt down next to me and asked her companions to give me some food. And then, very softly, she said,
You see, I used to listen to your broadcasts, Your Royal Highness.
Just what did you see here?
Awesome.
Okay, enough talk. Your opinions have all been taken into consideration. Beyond the seizure of Farbanti, which is important, and supporting the Erusian officer. At this point,
Wait,
I just don't know
is
what
that
our
a town outside of Farbanti
what
just
our
called Dennis?
Radio communication is still patchy for both the military and civilians, so we're getting zip from mission.
Yeah, I think it is.
Still, with countless
The
Erusian
hell?
forces in the area, it's too dangerous.
It's
for us
over
stay
to the
around
left
here waiting
there.
for a miracle. Now, regarding Count's suggestion to think about self-defense,
Oh, I see Megalith.
I think we should make a break for Tyler Island. It was a large Osean base before the start of the war. Count says his previous squadron took part in an operation to seize control of the island. It has the only base that will get us to the space elevator without refueling. It's also a transport facility for supply ships that provide drones and ammo for arsenal birds. For the Osean forces that are looking to reclaim the space elevator, those are two great reasons in its favor. If everything went according to plan, the base may already be in Allied hands when we get there. Though based on what Count told me about the island operation, it won't be easy to seize control.
If the ground troops have managed to open the bridgehead, the transport route to Osea for supply ships should be available.
So much at stake, I can't imagine Erusia just giving it up without a fight. Things could really have gone bad.
Even if there are enemies left, they should be pretty easy to suppress.
I just want to go home, man.
Me too.
With that look on your face, Trigger, I know exactly what you want to do.
If Trigger's ready to kick
Yeah, I want
ass,
to pet a
then so
cat.
am I.
What are you talking
Damn
about?
straight. We're with you, Trigger.
It's decided then. Let's get all the aircraft and haul ass to Tyler Island. Although we can avoid the Arsenal Bird's anti-air network, there's still remnants from the Erusian forces. I want to get to the island without getting into any unnecessary combat.
Define
Fix it
unnecessary.
how you want. Pack for a long trip, but remember, if you drag your ass, you'll get left behind.
Hi. Oh. Hi, Siren. I know, it's bedtime. But I want to buy an aircraft first. You see, it's an F-22. These things are awesome. See? Look at that piece of aviation porn. Thanks for the tip. Okay.